So, ladies and gentlemen, this is either going to be the best decision I ever make in my entire life, or it's going to be the absolute worst. And you see the title of today's video? Well, that title right there is not clickbait in the slightest. I am actually and legitly quitting business as I've known it for the last 5-6 years. Let me explain why. So, over the past 5-6 years, I'm not too sure about you, but I've been inundated by guru after guru after guru, basically telling me that in order to make a bunch of money online, you know, those big numbers online, 100, 200, 300 grand a month online, you've got to run a high ticket business. You've either got to sell some sort of high ticket service or you've got to sell a high ticket coaching program. So I went the high ticket coaching program route, stuck to that for the last 2 years, I believe. I even stopped selling digital products. You know, digital products was never taken seriously anyway. I'll explain that in a second. And I've gotten more in focusing on building a high ticket coaching business, which was my main business and main driver for the last year and a half, maybe 2 years now on this particular channel, right? And the way how I drive traffic through that is it's organic traffic or paid ads to a actual book call page. You book in a call with me, I get on the call, and then I have a sit down with you for 45 minutes, see if you're a good fit. If you're not a good fit, I do turn people down. But if you are a good fit, you come on board and you pay me, 3.5K to 4.5K. That's been the method of business for Montel Gordon. And I've been taught that my entire life. If you think about when you start an agency, what are you taught? You're taught how to do cold outreach or sometimes maybe even advertising. Most people don't teach advertising, to be honest with you. But the premise is the same. You do marketing to get calls booked onto a calendar, whether you're using Acuity scheduling or Calendly, basically a calendar software. You then turn up to that call and you sit down with that person for 45 minutes to an hour and you pitch them on either getting your service or buying your coaching program for a high ticket price. Well, that business model, I am completely quitting and going the complete opposite, literally. Now, in this video, I want to explain why, explain how we've been all indoctrinated to think this way, because believe me, I started business to become free. I think we all have started business to get financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom. Am I correct? I'm pretty sure you're nodding along in your head. And what I've noticed running a high ticket coaching business / consulting business where I help people with ads, I help people land clients, I help people come up with offers, I help people build out what you call the CSL funnel, I help people with Upwork as well. Those are my kind of specialities, if you will. I've been good at acquiring customers and clients. I've acquired over 1,300, 400 or something like that. Customers, clients, and students for programs, coaching, and agency stuff. I don't run the agency stuff anymore. That was ages ago, but I still know how to use Upwork. That's not a skill I'm ever going to forget. It's not changed much. You know what I mean? So people still come to me for that and I can help them with that. Primarily these days though, people come to me for help with growing a personal brand or acquiring customers in an inbound fashion, whether that's through organic traffic or ads. That's what people come to me for because that's what they kind of know me for. That's what this whole YouTube channel is about. In fact, if you take a look at my YouTube channel, it's always been about how to acquire clients, how to acquire clients, how to acquire clients, how to acquire clients. That's all I basically talk about on this channel because I think that's the number one thing that stops people from getting to where it is that they want to go. And the craziest thing is, I look up to all these big dudes, the Sam Ovens, the Alex Hormozis, all of those dudes, right? And every single one of them pretty much push the idea, which is not a bad idea, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shoot down high ticket or say high ticket's bad or anything like that, but they all push high ticket. And in order to sell high ticket, you've either got to have really good sales skills or you've got to build a sales team, but the model remains the same. It's typically marketing, whether you do cold outreach, warm outreach, inbound organic, inbound through ads, onto a calendar. So you get people to book your call onto a calendar. You then show up or your team members show up if you've got sales reps and they then sit down for 45 minutes to take that call to bring somebody on board for your coaching program or your services, whatever it is that you're selling. I'm pretty sure you guys are all familiar with that. That's the aim of the game. If you've not got calls on your calendar, you're broke. If you've got a bunch of calls on your calendar, you're making money, which is why all the gurus brag about, oh, I booked 300 calls this month. I booked this many calls this month. I booked this many calls this month. And the funny thing is that I've been running that same business and even looking up to people like Sam Ovens. Literally is like my favorite entrepreneur of all time. Like, I actually feel like I failed Sam Ovens to be saying this, but I'm actually moving out of high ticket and I'm going low ticket. In fact, the thing I'm going to be jumping into, guys, if you guys want to follow me, follow along for the journey, because I'm starting this from scratch. I even started my email list again from complete scratch, not even joking. This is a full reset of Montel Gordon on this channel. It's the full reset. I'm actually moving away from sales and high ticket, and I want to go more into e-commerce. I just see the potential in e-commerce. I feel like it's going to I think it's just going to flourish. I think it's a better business model overall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine digital products, so digital information products like e-guides, templates, mini courses, full-fledged courses, maybe even an ebook here and there. That's probably going to be the most difficult to create, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm going to create digital products in a store fashion. So this is full-fledged e-commerce now. When I say full-fledged e-commerce, I mean like I'm canceling ClickFunnels, I'm canceling Go High Level, I'm canceling like Signwell. Signwell's a contract signing system that I always used to use with, signing contracts with people that came on for coaching / consulting. All of those tools that I'm so used to using. In my invoicing tool, like simple invoices, canceling that. I've been using these tools for ages. I'm actually trying to delete Zoom off of my computer. The little camera there on my desktop right there, I'm thinking about getting rid of it. The reason why is because in 2025, my aim is to become truly passive and truly free. Now, I don't believe in passive income, but if I had to say this to you, and what made me realize this really was these last 18-ish days, I've been quite ill. Let me explain. So first of all, let me go back. I don't believe in passive income, but digital products are the closest thing I have ever experienced to passive income. Just this morning, I woke up to a $800 digital product sale. The day before that, woke up to digital product sales. I actually tried to record this video, this exact same video you're watching, the other day, but I didn't really quite feel up to it. This was on Sunday. And as I was talking to the camera, my phone was off in the drawer, but as I was talking to the camera, I had a sale come through for a digital product for $350 times 3. It's like $1,050 US. So as I was explaining what I'm explaining to you now, which is I'm quitting high ticket to go into low ticket digital products, I was sat on the sofa talking to the camera. It's just me on my own, my little candle lit, and I generated $1,000 whilst talking to the camera, whilst explaining why digital products are more passive and you don't need to speak to anybody and make money. The craziest thing is, as I ended the recording, I went over, turned on my phone and saw the actual thingy. I'll throw it up on the screen somewhere. But that's what happened as I was recording the first take of this video that you're watching. Now, let me explain why I'm doing this, because it's like, Montel, this is backwards. Like, this is all you've been known for. You've been known for like, oh, this is how you get clients. This is how you get clients. This is how you get clients. This is how you scale to 10K. This is how you get, like, I've been known for that. Here's a couple of reasons why, guys. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I want to be very transparent with you guys. I have been struggling with health anxiety for a very long time. It actually started in February, just a sudden onset of like some really random bodily sensations, which then convinced myself that I have something like wrong with me. So I had heart palpitations, muscle twitches, tinnitus or / ringing in my ears, tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to pronounce it, ringing in my ears. These kind of all came on suddenly. Obviously it could have been due to stress, but I think I had like a back and forth conversation I've had with doctors, and I even plugged it into ChatGPT and told it my whole timeline and history and my blood test results. I've had multiple blood tests, not to get into all this crazy stuff, but all my blood tests come back fine. Heart scans, multiple of them, 3 of them, I believe, come back fine. Had a CT scan, all that sort of stuff, completely fine. I think I've got what you call a subclinical magnesium deficiency, which is not cool, but it basically means it sounds to me, and this is my hypothesis, not really talk to a doctor about this because these guys just mess you about, if I'm being honest with you. It sounds to me like I have this is a classic case of a magnesium deficiency. It, it makes sense in pretty much all areas. Anyway, long story short, these past 2 weeks, I would actually say about 18 days, I've just been laying on this sofa, chilling. I've restarted my email list. And it would the first 7 days of me being ill and not being able to do something or get up off of the sofa that made me realize that, like, even when I'm ill, when I'm sick, when I'm laying down, when I'm not feeling right, when my anxiety is flaring up, I'm generating thousands of dollars in sales from a digital product. And I've never taken digital products seriously. In fact, in the first take of this video that I'm recording for you guys here, this is the second take, by the way. I just didn't like the first one. You could tell I was not feeling it. You could literally tell as I was watching it back. But this is going to be a very geeky, nerdy way to explain this. But I've never taken digital products seriously. In fact, the analogy I used, which I think is the perfect analogy, is if you guys know Naruto or if you've watched Naruto, you guys know what I'm talking about. Naruto fancies the hell out of a character called Sakura. This is like me and digital products, right? So it's like, I'm Naruto, Sakura's high ticket, I fancy the high ticket stuff, and I'm chasing the high ticket stuff. And then there's like this other third character, which is called Hinata. These are a female character called Sakura, a female character called Hinata. I'm pretty sure you guys are probably familiar with Naruto. If not, you need to go watch it, it's actually dope. Anyway, long story short, Naruto fancies the hell out of Sakura. He's always chasing Sakura, always trying to get her attention, but she fancies another character called Sasuke. Hinata, on the other hand, fancies the hell out of Naruto, and she's always trying to get his attention, but he's always ignoring Hinata, even though Hinata's the nicer, kinder one to Naruto that actually wants to be with Naruto, but he's too busy focusing on Sakura and trying to chase her. This kind of reminds me of me in terms of I'm Naruto, Sakura is an analogy for high ticket, and Hinata is digital products. I'm this Naruto guy, and I've been trying to chase this high ticket stuff, right? All day, every day, because it's been romanticized to me about getting these high ticket clients. And don't get me wrong, I've made thousands on top of hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally selling high ticket stuff. There's just no doubt about it. That's what I've been known for, quite literally. So I'm chasing this Sakura or this high ticket stuff, and it's like, on the back end, I just have a link in my bio, link in the description, which is just like my digital products. And it's like, it feels like I go out of my way to try and book as many calls as I possibly can, spending all this money on ads and doing all this stuff. And then this digital product stuff just keeps selling and selling and selling and selling, whether I'm ill, whether I feel like it or not, whether I'm traveling, whether I'm at a spa, whether I'm on holiday, whether I'm laying on the sofa incapacitated. It just looks after me. It literally feels like I'm chasing this thing over here that doesn't want me. Sometimes it's very difficult to scale high ticket. You've got to put a lot of work in, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of sales you got to perform. And then it's like this digital product thing where it's like, it's literally no effort. When I'm ill, it makes me money and looks after me. When I can't even, when I'm not in the mood to take sales calls, it looks after me. And it's like I've been ignoring this thing and not treating it in the way I should. No retargeting ads, no proper email list, no abandoned cart flows, no split testing I've never even split test my own page on ClickFunnels. That's one of the main selling features of fucking ClickFunnels. Do you know how, I'll repeat that one more time. I have never taken a sales page of mine and split test it between two different headlines to see if I can get an increased conversion rate on my digital product sales. I've never even done, and that is one of the main selling features of ClickFunnels back in the day. That's just what they're known for, split testing funnels. That was one of their main selling features. Not even done that. Didn't even put up a freaking pixel on my page when I first came out with my first ever go at digital products. Didn't even put a pixel on there. Didn't even run a single retargeting ad, like an absolute noob. You know, and I think the reason why is this. I've been conditioned, and you probably have as well. I've been conditioned to believe that selling information online or mini courses or digital products is not a real business. And I know why. I know why being a high ticket coach. And this is why. Other high ticket coaches have to say that, oh, these 997 courses are crappy, so that it makes them look elevated so that they can sell you their $5,000 thing instead. So the only reason other gurus shoot down online course sellers or just digital products in general is because they want to, instead of selling you a $997 thing, a $1,000 thing, they want to sell you a $5,000 thing or a $10,000 package. Not even joking. The next person you hear that says, oh, I don't have a 997 course, go and book in a call with them. Listen, try this. If you don't believe me, try this. The next person you hear on YouTube that says, oh, I've got nothing to sell you in this video. I definitely don't have a 997 course. What I want you to do is go to their Instagram, send them the trigger word that triggers their ManyFlow chat, or go and try find their link and book in a call with them. Get on a call with them and see how much they charge you at the end. I bet you any money, it's way more money than the 997 thing, which I'm not complaining about, because if you guys believe that you can get more value from one-to-one coaching, which I kind of disagree with, I've got more results from agency transmutation, which was one of my digital products, than I ever got with one-to-one coaching. I know that sounds weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the person gets to sit down and rewatch the program as many times over as they want. But I've got more testimonials and results that are verified than your favorite SMA dudes have clients for their agencies in just testimonials alone. And you know you've got to have a very, very good satisfaction rate to even get one testimonial, because as we all know as humans, we're kind of built this way. Negative word spreads much faster than positive words. So if somebody has a negative experience with your product, they're more likely to say something negative about it. But even if they have a positive experience, they're not really likely to give you a review. They're just not. They'd rather give you a negative review than a positive review. That's just how humans are, unfortunately. So I honestly believe that digital products actually are the best way to get people results from what I've seen. If I stop listening to what everybody else says and just look at what I've done and just lock in on what I've personally achieved and be like, yeah, ignore his opinion, ignore that thing. What have I actually seen running an agency, a coaching / consulting business, and a digital product? What have I actually seen? I've actually seen that a digital product produces the best results out of all three of them. I don't know why. I do not know why. If you guys know why, please let me know. I personally think it's a belief of this person knows that it's on them to get results and not the coach. Therefore, they take it even a slightly bit more serious. Not only that, but it's instantly accessible. They can go through the program as many times as they want. There's a community helping them as well. So they take it more serious that way. Whereas when it's a coach, they know that they've got this coach and this refund guarantee, because all these coaches offer like a money back guarantee. So they don't take it as serious, even though they spent more money on it, which is crazy. Because they know that the coach is there, and if all hell breaks loose, they've just got a refund anyway. So they don't take it as serious. But if it's an online program and they sit down to take it, it's like they lock in. It's like people like locking in by themselves in a room, in their office, their bedroom, wherever it is. So guys, let me explain what I'm going to be doing for my next business model moving forwards. So I do want to say high ticket as being absolutely beautiful. I will be quitting high ticket. It's not just quitting high ticket. It's more about quitting these three things. I don't do cold outreach or outreach anyway, but it would be, I want to quit outreach. I want to quit taking sales calls. I never want to take a sales call ever again. I've taken 2,500 plus of those things. Trust me, they get boring after a bit. And I don't want to do any coaching one-to-one style ever again, or even group. I want to get off of Zoom. Basically, I want to be able to delete Zoom and delete cold outreach. If I can do those three things, I'm free. And the reason what made me realize this again, one more time, is because I was sat on this sofa, ill, couldn't even get up, anxiety flaring up, and I was like, isn't it funny how even though when I'm ill, not chasing clients or got my ads running to my CSL funnel to booking calls, I'm making sales. Not posting any content, not dropped a YouTube video in like 3 weeks or anything like that. And sales are still trickling in to the point where I'm making thousands of dollars. And then that was the first week of my realization. Then I said to myself, you know what? I think I'm gonna go all in on low ticket digital products. And then I said to myself, yeah, but low ticket, it's a little bit, you gotta get thousands of, like hundreds of sales for it to even make sense. Then I said to myself, there's gotta be a better way. So what I've realized is, And this is what I want to do. And this is something that I've wanted to bring forwards, but I didn't quite know how to word it. But what I want to do is I want to take digital products, the best of digital products, right? And what I mean by digital products is with physical products, you have obviously shipping costs, production costs. You've got to develop the product as well. There's waiting times for it to get shipped to you, from you to your customer. Then you've got to have inventory costs. You got to store it in a warehouse. So I'm taking the best of e-commerce, which is your ability to make sales online without you need to speak to people through an online store. So I want that online store. I want that freedom that comes with running an online store. Then I want the benefits of having a digital product over a physical product. And I want to combine these two things. So it's like I'm taking imagine you run an e-commerce store, because it actually is going to be more e-commerce store based. I'll explain why in a second, but it's going to be e-commerce based. There's going to be stores, like you can actually add stuff to cart. You can check out. There's going to be abandoned cart flows. Even the language I'm going to be using going forward on this channel is going to be different. For example, I'm going to be talking about, instead of talking about getting clients and sales calls, it's going to be about sales pages and add to carts and average order value. Instead of client lifetime value, it's average order value. Instead of sales calls and what's your close rate, it's going to be what's your conversion rate on your sales page and your checkout page. You see what I'm trying to say? So we're actually moving into e-commerce. That's what we're going to be doing on this channel. So it is full-fledged. Even the software I'm using, moving from stuff like ClickFunnels, Go High Level, canceling those, Signwell, Simple Invoices, be canceling all of those. And we're going to be using stuff like Samcart, maybe even Shopify stores eventually when I have my full store built out, because I'm not just planning on selling courses. I'm selling digital products such as templates, guides, look packs, scripts, templates, those are the actual like digital products, like proper digital products that I built out. So I'm going to have eventually a store where you can actually add multiple things to your basket and then you check out. You see what I'm trying to say? So it actually is e-commerce based. So that's going to obviously increase the average order value. See, I'm already using the new terminology right now. And the reason why, again, is because I've noticed ever since starting my first ever digital product and turning my digital product into a sales page where you can actually check out. This was back, and I'll never forget the date. It was December the 13th, 2021, is when I turned agency transmutation from a book call page to a checkout page. So I built a funnel basically. It was terrible. I've already created a video on this, but it was actually a terrible page. It just looked so ugly. It was built on ClickFunnels. And the first version of it was first version was just a link in my YouTube description, just a calendar link on Acuity scheduling. The second version of it was an actual website with the domain agencytransmutation.com. And that was that was a actual page where you could book in a call. And then and I ran that for a couple months. I think it was from August to December. Yeah, August to December. August the 14th or 15th to December the 13th. So on December the 13th, 2021, I changed the same page, didn't even change any of the copy, but I removed the book call functionality to just be a checkout page. So instead of booking in a call and sitting down with me and then explaining the program, I just put a link there, a button, where you could just literally go to checkout page and pay for the program at $497. Ever since doing that, the very next day, on the 14th of December, I'll never forget this, I got my first ever digital product sale in an automated fashion. And the craziest thing is, I didn't realize how impactful that was. Because again, I never thought digital products were a proper business. I just thought that was being classed as a guru. That's just what gurus do. You're just being a guru, Montel. So I never took it seriously. Maybe it was an internal imposter syndrome where I didn't believe maybe I didn't deserve it. Even though I'd already successfully built my agency using Upwork. And some cold emails as well. So maybe I don't know, maybe it was this internal thing. Not only that, but it was this indoctrination by the gurus. But now I understand why the gurus say, oh, courses, don't buy 997 courses, they don't work. Wink, wink, come and buy my $5,000 coaching program instead. That's what they do. That's what I've noticed. There's even and the craziest thing is, when you actually buy these coaching programs for 5, 10 grand, as soon as you get in them, you realize it's hosted on a school community. It's basically a school community with a course or couple courses. So it's basically a digital product anyway with extra steps. It's like, it's a coaching, it classes a coaching program, but it's a course or multiple courses inside of a school community, which is a school community, with a coach assigned to you. So it's basically a course with extra steps, but classed as a coaching program, and now it's 10 times the price, 10 grand. It's insane. It's insane how it's even me, I fell for it. It's crazy how we let the gurus make us fall into this, oh, don't buy 997 courses or 497 courses, come and buy my $5,000 thing instead. It's like, yo, I could have achieved the same thing with a 497 course. You know what I mean? Hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to get onto anybody here. I'm just noticing certain things that I didn't notice before. And it's making me realize that, like, I kind of fell into it as well. Like, maybe I just listened to too many people and not listened to myself and see what actually works. Because from all the stuff that I've done, by far, my digital programs create the most testimonials consistently than anything else right now. And isn't it funny how that's not classed as a real business? So my not real business produces more case studies and testimonials than your favorite SMA gurus have in clients alone. 500 plus testimonials, not even joking. Just crazy how I class that as not a serious business. Now let me explain a couple other reasons as to why I'm jumping into digital e-commerce, by the way. That's the name I'm giving it. Digital e-commerce. So remember that name. Montel is now going into digital e-commerce. I want to break down a few reasons as to why I think this is going to be the future. I think this is going to be what I'm going to be sticking to for the next 5, 10 years. Because I can't see myself, in a couple of years, I'm going to be in my 30s, for example, and I can't see myself being a 30-year-old, 32-year-old, 35-year-old, and I'm managing a sales team or taking sales myself. I just don't see it going that way. I see it more e-commerce based. That was one of my first reasons why I got into the business in the first place. Because I wanted that remember, I started with e-commerce dropshipping. Don't forget, I started with a clothing line that didn't even get off the ground. But then I jumped into e-commerce dropshipping and I started doing print on demand. That was crazy because I got shut down by Epic Games because I was selling like Fortnite looking t-shirts, which is crazy. And then I moved into SMA and that was like a 180 for me because I was I really didn't want to be on sales calls. I was so scared of sales. I was terrified of sales. But I said, I'm just going to suck it up. You just got to get into sales. Just go for it. So here's a reason why I want to get into low ticket digital products. And by the way, if you guys don't agree with me in any way, shape or form, or you want to argue with me, before you do in the comment section, please just open up ChatGPT right now in a tab and just type out your scenario right now. Let's say you want to get to 10K a month or 20K a month, right? 30K a month, whatever it is. I want you to just type in into ChatGPT which one it thinks is going to be the most successful for you. If you aren't going to listen to me, at least listen to ChatGPT. And again, yes, ChatGPT can make errors, but typically it's quite accurate. Not only is it quite accurate, but it's not like it's the frigging collective of all human intelligence in one place. You know what I mean? So what does it know? You know what I mean? Being sarcastic, obviously. So type into ChatGPT, right? insert your age. I'm a 22-year-old dude from wherever you are. I don't really have much experience in marketing, this thing, that thing, or whatever it is, but I want to scale an online business to 10K a month so I can achieve financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom. That's typically why we get into online businesses. Which business model do you think is going to be best for me? Do you reckon I should try and sell services, a marketing agency service for 1.5K a month? Or do you reckon it would be easier to scale to 10K a month if I sold digital products at $47 to $300 each for a digital product? Based on my scenario and what my goals are? Question mark. Enter that into ChatGPT. Let me know what you find. Wink, wink. I'll leave it at that. You go and type that into ChatGPT right now. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to any other guru. Listen to the friggin' human, the collective of all human intelligence. Let it tell you what it thinks is the best business model. I already know the answer. So this, you go take a look at it though, because I know that you won't listen to me anyway. Long story short, so let me break down a couple of reasons as to why I'm going into digital e-commerce. So it's digital products, not just courses. And then everyone's gonna be like, oh, so you're just selling courses? No. That's just 1/3. That's literally 1/3 of what I'll be doing, because there's course base, there's template base or product or like proper product base, then there's like ebooks and stuff. So I'll explain that in a second. Now, let me get into some of the reasons as to why I want to get into digital e-commerce and why I think it's going to be the absolute greatest business model I jump into. I'm assuming it will be. I'm hoping it will be anyway. Number one, no sales calls. I don't want to do sales calls no more. If I'm being honest with you, I do not want to do sales calls no more, because I think when you attach your income to sales calls, now you're not really running a fully fledged, like the essence of an online business is to be able to make money in a different country whilst doing other activities, not being sat on a sales call. And I know that a lot of you guys are like, oh, so why don't you just hire a sales team? You've still got to manage your sales team. Your profit margins go down. Your profit margins go down. I would rather be an entrepreneur, and I've looked into this, by the way. I've seen entrepreneurs that are doing 300K from digital products and a month and 300K from high ticket coaching per month, both doing 300K roughly profit per month, right? I won't say any names, but these are two people that I look up to right now that I'm subscribed to on my channel, so you might even be able to find them and whatnot, but I'm subscribed to both of them. They're both making roughly the same 300K, like I think it's like profit per month. And I'm telling you, the person that sells digital products is in an infinitely better position. I'll explain why. The person over here that sells high ticket stuff, if they get 1 or 2 refunds, that's a big chunk of change, because they sell a program at like 4K, 5K or whatever it is. I believe it's like 4 or 5K or whatever it is. So if they get 3 refunds, that's 15 grand in refunds. This person over here sells digital products, and the average order value that they have is about $400 US. So if they get 3 refunds, that's only 1,200 in refunds, like 1,200 in refunds. The person over here generates about 60 new customers per day. The person over here, I don't know what the maths is on that. Pretty sure it's like, no, it's about 60 new customers a month or something like that. 60 new clients a month or whatever it is. 60. Yeah, you guys do the maths on that, but it's nowhere near 60 a day. This person over here is literally generating 60 new customers per day, which means this person's email list is fucking ridiculously huge. It's not even a joke. I've never seen an email list that big before in my life. This person is waking up all day, every day, and the Stripe account is just ringing. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the back when you guys were into Shopify dropshipping, or if you're still in Shopify dropshipping, you know, like when somebody launches a new ad campaign and you just hear the ka-ching, 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 because all the sales are flying in. That's what that person's Stripe account looks like all day, every day. It's lower ticket, yes, but it's so much more consistent. It's so much more, I would say, predictable. Her income is actually not attached to her taking sales calls. And I think when you start attaching your income to sales calls, then you've always got a room for human error. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you're reliant on sales calls to make money, what happens if that person doesn't turn up to your sales calls? Well, then you don't make money. What happens if your sales reps are ill and don't take that sales call? Well, then you don't make money. What happens if nobody books in a call with you that week? Well, then you don't make money. What if somebody does book in a call with you, your sales rep's ill, and then you step in, but maybe you're not in the mood that day? I've had this where I've jumped on sales calls and I'm telling you, I just don't feel up for it. I'm out of it. Maybe I'm a little rusty at sales or whatever it is that on that particular day. And I just don't sell convincingly. I think that's a very big weakness in the high ticket space. I think it is a bit of a weakness, because it's like, if your income's dependent upon other people showing up to a call, well, then now your income's dependent on other people. You see what I'm trying to say? Whereas if you've got sales pages and you're getting 2,000 clicks a day onto your sales page, this person I'm referring to gets like 2,000 to 4,000 clicks per day onto her checkout page. It's incredible what I've seen. I've seen this and I said, this is what I want. I want this. There's no sales calls. In fact, she brags about having, you know, like how gurus in our sphere brag about having 300 calls booked a month. Even I've got a video on this channel talking about how I'm booking 300 calls a month or whatever, like 240 calls a month. She brags about the total opposite. And I think that's more of a flex than all these bro marketers. You know what I mean? Like, she's flexing, but I'm making 300 grand a month. I've got 0 calls on my calendar. This guy over here looks like he's not eating well. He looks stressed. He's looking like me like 2 weeks ago when I was ill on his sofa. He's got a massive sales team. Booking up 300 calls a month. They've got all, they lead with these ridiculously outlandish guarantees. If we don't get you 10 grand a month in new business, we refund you and we pay you $5,000 on top. They're leading with all these crazy guarantees. This person doesn't even have a guarantee. There's no guarantee there whatsoever. Her brand is beautiful. The email list is ridiculously huge. She can sit on her sofa, write an email from an iPad, push that email out to her email list, and she's got so many people on that email list that she'll never be broke again. I think that, personally, is more of a flex than having 200 calls on your calendar a month, especially because they're making the same amount of money as well. And this person, by the way, I think is now doing about 400K a month, funnily enough. So no sales calls. I don't want to do sales calls again. I want to avoid that stress and that time. And here's another thing with sales calls. You don't close all 100% of your sales calls. Not even mention this, but you don't close all 100% of your sales calls. You guys should know this. Like, if you book 10 sales calls and you close 3, that means you've spent 45 minutes to an hour on 7 calls that resulted in nothing. Do you know how many people are going to tell you, oh, I'm not ready for this yet, or let me think about it, or the price is just too high? That's 7 hours of your life or your team's life that you could have spent building something else. And again, I know that the biggest comment in this comment section is going to be, why don't you just hire a sales rep or hire a sales team? It's just not that easy, first of all. Second of all, I still don't want to go down the high ticket route, because then you still got to do service delivery and coaching. And even when you hire coaches and people to do the service delivery for you, they're just not you, no matter how well you train them. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain personal experiences I've gone through that another person just hasn't. And somebody buying coaching from me is buying that experience and wisdom from me because I've gone through it. I can't then offload that to another person, no matter how well I train a coach. The next thing is freedom to travel. Listen to this. Whilst I've been ill, sitting on the sofa, right? I said to myself, Montel, isn't it funny how you're ill on this sofa and you're making thousands of dollars in just a couple days flat, whilst not talking to anybody or doing a single piece of work, whilst you're watching random brain rot YouTube videos on YouTube doing nothingness. Obviously, by the way, I'm not trying to make digital products sound easy. I've built, obviously, an audience over time. So that's why I'm obviously able to be ill for a couple of weeks and my digital products still take care of me, or I know how to run ads as well, so that will still be able to take care of me. But the premise remains the same. You put the work in up front, you do it once, and it sells over and over and over again. An evergreen asset is what you call it. Anyway, the long story short is this. I've been laying on this sofa, and I really started to ask myself, like, Montel, why did you even get into business in the first place? You know, I was just down and out, and I'm just like so stressed, and I'm like, anxiety's flaring up, and I'm like, can't even get up. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, honestly, I became an entrepreneur because I wanted to travel and see the world. Then I asked myself, well, how many fucking times have you traveled and seen the world? How many times have you actually just gone and booked a holiday and just stayed in a nice fancy Airbnb or a hotel and just worked there for a week? Like, that's why I wanted to become an entrepreneur, because I wanted to at least taste that digital nomad lifestyle where you can take your laptop to Spain, to France, to Italy, to South Africa, to wherever it is, and sit down, sip a nice little cappuccino in a very beautiful Airbnb, private chef on deck, blue water, fucking Dom Perignon bottles chilling on the poolside, whilst I'm writing some emails, sending them to my list or whatever it is that I'm doing, a little bit of light work here and there, and I make more money, this is the key, and I make more money on holiday than what I spend on the holiday. That's the dream for me. That's the dream for me. And I just don't see myself running a high ticket business because that isn't as obtainable than it is with digital products. With digital e-commerce, you can do that, no doubt about it. That you can delete Zoom off of your computer. You can take the friggin' webcams off of your computer because you don't need to be talking to anybody. It's ads to checkout pages, people buy, and then you've got upsells in the back end, email list, sending out emails to the email list, selling that way. So much more leveraged. You see what I mean? It's much more scalable. It's much more freedom to travel. There's larger market as well, a larger potential market to hit. Think about it. And this is objectively true. If you're selling a $5,000 thing, let's say you're in my position. You have a YouTube channel that has like 50,000 subscribers. You're selling a $5,000 thing, coaching program, for example. Out of your 50,000 people, there's not going to be many people that can afford a $5,000 thing. Not that many. That's just objectively true. That's an objectively true statement. You can't even argue with that. Versus how many people would be able to afford a $100 thing? You see what I'm trying to say? A $5,000 thing versus a $100 thing. I think it's actually easier to sell a $100 thing because it requires the same amount of effort. Let me give you an example. If I say in this video right now, hey, go book a call below, that effort was only exuded one time. Or if I say, hey, go buy my $100 thing, link below, and I push you to that. Or I say, hey, go sign up to this thing or sign up to that thing or go click on this page or click whatever it is. I say that effort is exuded one time. But that might generate 10,000 clicks, 1,000 clicks, 100 clicks. See what I'm trying to say? So the effort is spent one time, but it's leveraged. So I could, for example, let's say I've got a video on this channel that's got like 350 something thousand views. If I put a very strong call to action into that video, let's say I did, and told people, hey, go buy this $100 thing, I'm pretty much guarantee you that because it's only $100, a bunch of people just be like, hey, you know what? I got a lot of video, got a lot of effort, a lot of value from this video. Let's just go buy this thing. Versus trying to sell a $5,000 thing. Well, then now you've got to put a sales call page in place. Then you've got to book people onto a calendar. Then you've got to turn up to that or have a sales rep turn up to that. Then you've got to sit down. You've got to do the 45-minute calls. And then I would say like 80% of people, 20% or 25% close rate is typically average. 20 to 30% close rate is typically average, meaning 80% to 70% of all the calls you take are going to result in nothing. It's a lot of wasted time. It's a lot of wasted time. You take 10 sales calls, 8 don't buy, 2 do. That's 8 hours of time on sales calls back to back where you could have been traveling, living, or just living life. See what I'm trying to say? So let me go through some of these points. So hopefully you're starting to understand this. I don't want to drag this video on too long. It's already gone on long enough. But no sales calls. I want to avoid that stress, the time commitment, the emotional drain, the high pressure of calls. I also don't want to be spending time on calls where it's like nothing comes of it. 45 minutes of my time I'd rather spend that same 45 minutes of time either creating content, creating ads, building some sort of automation on maybe ManyChat or a new funnel or something like that. So it honestly just doesn't take that much time. I also think it's a little bit backwards. I just don't think billionaires would be operating in a high ticket capacity. I think they would rather set up a system one time and then get that system to work for them over time. See what I'm trying to say? I've noticed with all billionaires, they have very good systems. And I feel like that, taking sales calls and high tickets is just not a good system, especially when you're coaching people. This is what I was doing, coaching people the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, saying the same things. Imagine there's like a 4-step process or 4-step recipe to do something, right? And you have 10 people come through and want to learn this recipe from you. Instead of me just recording the recipe and giving it to them, I'm there sat like an absolute dickhead, telling them each individually how to do this recipe over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't make no sense, does it? It literally makes no sense when you put it like that. Also, the freedom to travel. Low ticketed products don't tie you to client work, service delivery work. So there's no service delivery or sales calls ever again. That's what I want. It's more scalable with automation as well. You can set up ManyChat. You can set up email marketing, sales funnels, ads. Allows you to scale with, and this is the key bit, it allows you to scale without dropping your profit margins. Because again, if you scale a high ticket, your profit margins drop because you've got to now bring on more team members. You got to hire more coaches. You've got to hire more sales rep. You've got to hire community managers. Whereas with digital products, the more you scale, it doesn't really sacrifice your workload. Your workload doesn't increase and your profit margins don't really drop unless your ad spend like blows up or something like that. And then you can, that's a much easier fix than having 20 people that you've hired on your business and people relying on you to pay payroll and stuff like that. Larger market potential. Since I know I've got a decent audience online, it's just so much easier, especially in my case and just in everybody else's cases, I think. How many people do you think already, for example, let's say my coaching, there was times where I was telling people, look, my coaching is only for those people that are already doing 10K plus above with their agencies, coaching businesses, and I'm just gonna help them put in this funnel into their business and you can run it. But how many of you guys on this channel do you reckon are actually doing more than 10 grand a month right now? That would then say, okay, I'm spending 3-5 grand on this thing. That's a smaller audience than how many people on this channel do you reckon, if you just take my channel, for example, or anybody's channel in general, how many more people do you reckon would be able to afford just a $300 thing or a $200 thing or even a $47 thing, $47 ebook or guide or mini course? So many more people are able to afford that. And you win through volume with low ticket. I also think it's less risky as well. As in, you sell a $5,000 thing, you get a refund, boom, five grand gone. If you sell and by the way, you do get refunds, that's just the aim of the game with high ticket, you just do. Like, don't start a business if you think you're not gonna get refunds, that's not even realistic. Just, don't ever start a business. If you get a refund over here, it takes you a lot of refunds to get like 5 grand in refunds. Don't think that's ever happened with any of my programs. In fact, my refund rate for agency transmutation was less than 4%. It was like 3.2% or something like that. Meaning I got it right 96 to 97% of the time. If you get 96% or 97% on any test in any country, you're pretty much top of the friggin' country. Not to toot my own horn, but that was literally my refund rate. Passive income potential, lower refund risk, minimal client service delivery and support is needed. No pressure to perform as well. And this is what I've noticed as well. This is one of the big myths I need to shoot down. I've not seen this be the case. I'm pretty sure you've heard this before. Sell higher ticket stuff. This is what gurus tell you to do. They'll tell you, sell high ticket stuff because when you get higher ticket clients, they're easier to manage and they just go with the flow. I'm telling you right now, when somebody invests 2 grand versus 4 grand, that person that invests 4 grand is more stressed out about the 4 grand than the guy that spends 2 grand. So why do all these online coaches say that like, oh yeah, just get higher ticket clients because they're easier to manage? I've actually found it to be the opposite way around. Think about it. It actually makes logical sense as well. Which one would you be more stressed about? You buy something from, I don't know, your favorite online person, like your favorite online coach. You buy something for 5 grand. Let's pretend you do, even if you don't. Just pretend you do. You spend something for 5 grand. You buy a coaching program for 5 grand versus you spend $50 with that person. Which one are you gonna be more stressed about? Which one are you gonna be more expecting of results from? It's obviously the $5,000 thing. So why have we come to believe that when somebody spends $5,000 with you versus $100 with you, that the $5,000 client is going to be easier to manage than the $100 client? I think that is one of the biggest myths I've seen in the industry. Lower barrier to entry as well when it comes to low ticket digital products for you guys as well. I think for you guys, if you're an 18 to like 28-year-old, 30-year-old, or even above, I feel like it's so much easier for you guys to sell something for $47 and get 6 sales a day than it is to sell a $3,000 thing per month. Just one of them. I actually genuinely think it's easier to get to $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month selling a $100 thing now than it is, or a $300 thing, than it is selling a $3,000 per month thing to 3 people. Especially if you're a beginner. I mean, who's gonna trust a beginner with paying them $3,000 a month? Like, how are you? This is the craziest thing. Like, which one do you think is more realistic? You have no experience, no case studies, no references, no past testimonials or anything like that. Which one do you think is gonna be the easiest sell? Selling something for $47 to somebody or selling something for $3,000 to somebody? Come on, guys. More opportunities for upsells and average order value increases. So when you buy somebody's high ticket coaching for $5,000, it's kind of it unless they have like an in-person mastermind. Whereas low ticket, like the person I'm following, not gonna say any names, but she has a bunch of low ticket stuff and she just upsells gradually, bringing her average order value to like $400. But she's getting 60 sales a day. Not all of them are $400, obviously. But she's getting like 60 sales a day. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, because you're just upselling and increasing our average order value. There's a higher volume of buyers as well. The next thing that's really important for me is that with low ticket digital products, you can, because it's e-commerce based and the store's already built and the products are already built and it's set there, like set and forget. It's like, now I can play to my strengths, which is creating content. I love talking to the camera. I can do more marketing. I would class myself more as a marketer than a business owner. Like that, I think that's what's going on here. I think that's actually what's going on here. I don't like the whole hiring team members and working with other people and taking sales calls. I don't mind sales calls, to be fair. It's a little bit annoying. Well, yeah, I don't like sales calls. I like talking to people. I just don't like having to sit there and tie my income to me actually turning up for 45 minutes, because then my income is back being tied to time. There's been times where, in fact, just the other day, where I said, look, I've not even booked a single holiday. Then I said to myself, let me go through my YouTube channel, and you can do this as well if you want to. Like, look through my YouTube channel. When was the last time I went on holiday and brought this freaking camera with me on holiday and showed you guys some cool, I don't know, cafes in France or Spain or whatever it is, wherever the country is? I've just not done that. It's like I'm defeating the whole purpose of being an entrepreneur. I have the money to do it, I just don't have the freedom to do it because I'm always on freaking calls. And the craziest thing is, like, when I think about going on holiday and booking a holiday, I know subconsciously at the back of my head, not even subconscious, this is just fully conscious. This is the front of my head, in fact. This is at the front of my fucking head, never mind the back. I'll be sat there and I'll be like, yeah, I do want to go on holiday. But it's like, I know that I'm booking 3 to 6 calls typically per day on my calendar. So if I go on holiday for a week, do you know how many calls I miss out on? And how many potential new customers, clients I miss out on? It would cost me more to close out my calendar for a week than what the holiday is even worth to me. So I'm not going on holiday. So it keeps me stuck in this apartment. I mean, it's a beautiful apartment, don't get me wrong, but it's getting boring now. You know what I mean? I want to travel the world a little bit. So funnily enough, to commemorate me going from like a sales-based business, that's like service-based, sales-based, people interaction-based, one-to-one sales calls, from me going from that to digital e-commerce, what I'm going to be doing, what I did is I celebrated by just randomly at 2 a.m. at night, like literally 2 a.m. in the morning, I pulled out my phone, looked for the fanciest hotel I could in France, for the France Christmas, you know, the French Christmas, the Paris Christmas markets. And I said, I'm just fucking booking it. I put 2.5K down on this beautiful ass hotel, one of the most beautiful hotels I've seen, 5-star, spas everywhere. Obviously, I'm gonna be taking you guys with me, hence the new mic, so I can get up and walk around. Shout out to the loungewear, by the way. I'll be taking you guys with me and finally traveling, doing the things I wanna do. And the craziest thing is, I spent 2,500, listen to how crazy this is. I spent 2,500 pounds on the hotel for 5 days, which is not cheap. It's like 500 pounds per day for this hotel. And by the time within 21 hours of me booking that in, before I even had time to get my suitcase out of the friggin' storeroom to even think about packing, I had already made back every single penny of that hotel through digital products whilst being ill, laying on this sofa. How crazy is that? I didn't even get a chance to get my ass up and do even an hour's worth of work before I made the money back. I didn't even get a chance to bring the friggin' suitcase out of the storeroom to even start packing. And I'd already, imagine going on holiday and making more money before you even get to the holiday than what you spent on the holiday through digital products. And here's the craziest thing is, I've done this with pretty much all my holiday. Yes, in fact, I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna say this very clearly. I have done this with every single holiday I have been on since December the 13th, 2021. And funnily enough, I technically did it with New York one time. Did it with when I went to New York. But that was only just because I took the sales call before New York, and then I sent the invoice, and then I got on the plane, and then the invoice was paid, so technically it didn't count. Whereas from December the 13th onwards, every single holiday I've been on, that's Amsterdam. I don't know if that was once or twice. I've been to Portugal twice. Where else have I been? I went to Spain the other day for my little brother's birthday. I've made more money on the holiday without talking to anybody, that's the difference, without talking to anybody or taking a sales call through digital products than what I've spent on the holiday. And some of these holidays I'm going shopping and like buying a whole electric scooter just to have for 7 days instead of renting one. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just buy the thing. Wasn't even cheap, as like 600 euros. That's not including flights or anything. And I made the whole trip back through digital product sales whilst talking to nobody. And here's the craziest thing I want to explain to you guys. It's gonna sound so stupid. And I've still never taken it serious. I'm literally like Naruto chasing Sakura, and Hinata's chasing me, and I'm ignoring this bitch over here, and I'm like, yo, I'm going over here. You know what I mean? It's insane, bro. It's actually insane when you think about it. So I just think this e-commerce stuff and this digital product stuff, I'm good at creating digital products. I'm good at getting results with digital products. You can't even deny that at this point. I love the content marketing stuff. I love running ads. I love marketing in general. I love automations, sales funnels, many chat flows. I'm even starting to love email marketing as well. So it's all just aligning for me. I want to be able to do that traveling more as well. So I feel like this is just going to be one of those businesses where it's like, I've made the money now. Now it's just time to go get my freedom. I've made the money doing all this other stuff, the high ticket stuff, and getting into the sales calls and closing people and doing the service delivery and all that sort of stuff. Now it's like, I've got all this money, but it's like, I'm anxious to go on holiday because I know that I'm not making any money because I've got to close out my calendar and not take sales calls. And again, I don't want to hire a sales rep because I just don't want to be managing a big team. I'm more of a lone wolf, if I'm being honest with you. So I think this one just suits me, guys. So digital e-commerce is what I'm going to be going into. Again, full-fledged stores, e-commerce stores. Actually running ad campaigns directly to checkout pages. There's going to be abandoned cart flows, retargeting, pixel setup, email marketing going on in the back. Like, I'm actually operating. Here's the crazy. This is how you know things are really changing for me. I'm about to go and unsubscribe to all of my favorite dudes like Sam Ovens, like there's people like William Brown. Shout out to these dudes, by the way. These guys actually know what they're talking about when it comes to high ticket stuff. And I'm unsubscribing to them. And I'm now gonna go look for dudes that are bigger in the e-commerce space, that are big in the e-commerce. I'm looking for the William Browns, but in the e-commerce space. You see what I'm trying to, the Sam Ovens, but in the e-commerce space. And I'm gonna start listening to them guys instead, because I'm no longer chasing sales calls and clients. I'm chasing sales on a sales page, conversion rates, clicks, and product sales. It's a completely different business, guys. Doing a 180, I'm starting again from scratch. And by the way, since starting from scratch, I've taken my email list. Let me just close this out a second. I've taken my email list from 0 to 600 and I believe that says 668 new subscribers on this brand new email list, which is crazy. Did that from scratch. These are all people that are waiting on a waiting list for a $47 product to drop. And I built this email list up in the last 18 days. So I've generated 668 new people on a waiting list for a $47 product whilst I've been ill, through a very simple ad that doesn't even show my face. There's no talking on the ad. I'll throw the ad up somewhere here. And it's generated 668 new potential customers in the last 18 days. If you do the maths on that, 668 people times 47 comes out to $31,396 US in potential revenue. Not even spent, I don't even think I've spent more than 1.2K on ads or something like that. Probably even less than that. I'll check in a second, but I think it's less than that. Which is absolutely crazy. That's organic and ads together. Not even pushed out a single YouTube video. Posted one time on Instagram. Posted one time on my Instagram feed. I've generated 668 people on a waiting list. And by the way, this waiting list is not like, sign up for this free thing. No, the ad literally says, I am going to sell you a $47 thing that's going to help you build your own thing, your own digital product. Do you want it when it comes out for $47? Yes or no? If you want it, put your name on the waiting list so you can buy this thing. It's going to be $47. You know that, right? Yes. Okay, well, put your name here and your email here. And 668 people with real email addresses have stepped forward and said, yes, I want this thing for $47. It's 31 grand in potential business right there. Obviously, not all 100% are going to convert. I'm expecting maybe even a 10% of that to convert. 10% sounds about right to me. Yeah, I'd say about 10% convert. And obviously, there's going to be upsells in the back end. And obviously, I now have their email, so I can email market to them all day, every day for the next 5-10 years, or however long they stay on my email list. You get the point. But honestly, I just think it's a much better business model going digital e-commerce route than the high ticket route. This is less predictable, less scalable. You can't even argue with the less scalable thing, because like, even if you're a high ticket coach right now, if I gave you 50 coaching clients today, could you handle them without hiring anybody else? The answer is unequivocally no. Don't even try, fool yourself. You definitely couldn't. 50 people right now. If you run an agency, I give you 50 clients right now. Could you handle 50 clients right now without hiring anybody? The answer is no. That will burn down your business really quickly. If you're selling a digital product, could you handle 50 customers per day, every single day for the next 30 days, next 100 days? The answer is yes. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. It's just a much more scalable business. Which is why I think all your favorite gurus, most of them now, are going into digital products. So that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. I will be finishing out Client Synthesizer, making sure that everybody gets the results that they deserve. They'll probably get free upgrades into everything that I do anyway. Not everything, but the next thing that I do anyway. So those guys are always going to be looked after. If you're already inside of Client Synthesizer, so don't even worry about it. Literally, don't worry about it. Just DM me on Instagram or in the school community. You guys are always going to get looked after. So yeah, that's my next move, guys. The aim for 2025 is to take, this is going to sound crazy, 0 sales calls. That's my aim for 2025. 0 sales calls. How crazy is that? The aim is to literally be able to delete Zoom off of my computer. To be able to delete Zoom off of my computer and travel more. Getting into my, a couple years I'll be in my 30s. family. I won't say kids on the way. I don't think I'm gonna have kids until I'm like 34 or something, 35. But you know, that eventually is coming. So I'm thinking long term. And this is what I can see myself doing. Building proper e-commerce stores with proper brand value. Proper products on there. Checkouts, carts, average order values, abandoned cart flows, beautiful conversion rates, split tests, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, no more sales calls to Montel. Done with them, quitting them. This is my official renunciation from high ticket and sales calls. So yeah, guys, if you want to stick around, honestly, I do recommend, because it's just going to be absolutely insane to see if I can pull this off. If not, don't even worry about it. You know what's crazy? I know if I don't pull this off, I still know how to book calls on a calendar all day, every day anyway. So it's not like, and here's the thing. Some people ask me like, why didn't you just scale that then? And it was like, deep down, I knew I didn't want it. It was like I was self-sabotaging myself. Like I'd have calls on my calendar and I would be like, I can't be asked to take this call, man. And then I would turn up, do the call. You could tell I was not really into it. No effort was going into it. No love was in there. No passion. I wasn't rolling with sturdy. I wasn't being sturdy with it, as we say in Jamaica. Man's not moving sturdy right now. I just wasn't feeling it. And I'd self-sabotage myself, and the other person could feel that. I wasn't really there. I was on the call, but I wasn't there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I self-sabotaged myself and then burnt myself out and then depleted my magnesium and then had all these weird anxiety flare-ups, and it's like my brain was torn. It's because I was not doing the things I know I wanted to do. I think that's what happened. I think I tore myself a little bit, tore my psyche. So anyway, I feel so much better. Already just talking to you guys, explaining it. This is how you know you make a good decision. Already, just by talking and making this video, I already feel like this huge boulder has been lifted off of my shoulder and I'm free to do what I actually want to pursue. Digital e-commerce, that's what I want to pursue. So guys, love you guys. Make sure you stick around because it's going to be very interesting over these next couple months. And if it all goes to shit, at least I know that I can run ads on Facebook and book calls for like $50 to $100 per call. And I'll pretty much be good. Plus I've got lots of money, you know, laying around and all that good stuff. So love you guys. See you guys in the next video. Drop your thoughts below. If you want to, I don't know, maybe ask me questions about this, just drop me a comment or just DM me on Instagram or whatever, and I'll help you for free. Anyway, guys, love you guys. Peace.